Sheikh, from just you have one of your cousins, Saeed M. Saeed. I think that's your cousin, right? He's the president of ISNA.
No, he spells it S-A-Y.
Oh, it's your cousin?
E-E-D. No, he spells it different.
Salam alaikum, Dilly. What's good, bro?
What up? Hold on, wait, Dilly. Why are you ripping? Well,
what's
I'm
the
not
dilly,
ripping.
yo?
I'm not ripping. Yeah, we say Dilly, yo. That's old, by the way. We say Dilly. What's the Dilly, yo? That means like what's happening. I don't know if you guys have it in the UK. But anyways, I'm not just ripping the SJWs. I'm saying that we're not an SJW culture. Like Islam doesn't have that. We have an Islamic culture. We have Islamic activism.
Yeah.
SJWs today are gonna rant for the right to for gender equality, and for all kinds of things. Trans equality. I'm not about that, bro.
Yeah.
And so take it how you want to. At the end of the day, I'm a Muslim and I'm unapologetically a Muslim.
Yeah.
But
he's not related to me.
So go ahead, tell us about your thoughts on
your cousin.
Yeah,
he's
your
not
cousin.
My cousin.
Yeah, your uncle.
No.
So basically, before we get to Saeed M. Saeed, I think that's his middle name, initial M.
Maybe.
Remember Irhab?
I can't remember.
Bin
Irhab?
Irhab bin Irhab. We went to a scholar conference at Irhabi bin Irhab. Remember that?
Irhabi.
War, the son of the war.
Irhabi is terrorist.
Yeah, there was a guy. Remember, Chef? I told you
Ihab.
we went to that Amja conference.
His name was Ihab.
No, his name was Irhabi ibn Irhab, and I said, "Hey, Chef Amir,
No, is it?
why is his name terrorist, son of terrorist?" And he's like, his name literally Irhabi means terrorist, and I'm like, I showed him the program, and I'm like, am I seeing this right? Irhabi means terrorist, right?
I don't remember this, to be honest.
Wallahi, I showed it to you, bro.
Wait, maybe I forgot, bro.
Hayatullah.
He's the Wahayakam.
No, he's a Wahayat. He's trying to be like the Palestinians, the Ramallah Wallah, bro.
Anyway, that's a very. I mean, maybe they use it in different context. The word jihad is used, the name jihad, like something like that. Sometimes.
But anyway, so not unlike.
But can we have
the entire subject?
Can we have the holiness address Turkey?
No, not holiness. No.
Saeed M. Saeed released a statement. The president of ISNA released a statement saying that Hagia Sophia being converted back to a mosque from a museum is illegal and wrong and should not be allowed. And President Erdogan we should be condemned in the strongest possible terms. I'm just summarizing here. Yeah. Maybe he didn't exactly use those terms, but basically, the president of ISNA, which is in effect for people who are international or listening in UK, they are the MCB of America. They have the most political clout, I guess. Do they? I don't know. But they have a considerable amount of influence among Muslims. They are able to.
They're the Okie-doke.
They're like the oldest. They're like the oldest organization.
Yeah,
probably,
they used to be kingmakers, but now I consider the Mamluks being kingmakers after so many people have become popular after coming on. They're
like the Okie-dokes.
What's the Okie-doke?
Okie-doke is like that.
They're no longer kingmakers.
Like the white guy in the neighborhood with the lawnmower and the khaki shorts and the MAGA hat and like just mowing the lawn. Hey Bob, how you doing? Right, that's like the Okie-dokes. Like,
so he made a political statement, which is completely out of left field because they don't necessarily make these type of statements. They're traditionally aligned with leftist movements and with the Democratic Party, just like how in the UK the MCB is more traditionally aligned with the Labour Party or whatnot. But
everyone's worried, bro. They want to take a side. They want to make sure they don't ruffle any feathers. Look, before we even get into all that, you have to understand the reality of what's happening on that political level. I personally didn't even read all of ISNA's the whole paper. I personally, out of all of this, I think it's a distraction. I don't really care, to be honest with you, about what's happening. But I think in order to answer this, even Islamically, we have to understand, number one, and I think you're more fit for this too, and you probably have a nice, robust explanation. Number one, why would Erdogan himself make the statement in a time like now? What's happening? Why does he have to make that statement? And why is he making this huge announcement of changing it back to a masjid when it was a museum? He has amazing ties with Russia. He has the trades with Israel, saying that he's gonna do next Masjid al-Aqsa. Does he really mean all of this?
Well, Erdogan, I will say, let's just give him credit where it's due. He has for years, he's been removing the secular influence on Turkish society. He's funded programs that are related to religious education, whether or not there's a. And there was an article from Foreign Policy today saying that education program, that religious education program, is lacking or whatever. But
yes,
put that aside. He has been removing the hallmarks of secular Ataturk's marks that he's left on, and he's been systematically removing it. And removing Hagia Sophia from its museum status was the most natural thing to do under the current thing. And I don't want to go through all the different points because Dilly and his co-editor Roshan went through this and I published the episode on the Mad Mamluks podcast. Go back and check it out. It's on the audio only platform, or you can check it out on Five Pillars YouTube channel. It's a fantastic debate, and they've both came out with many different things, and even Roshan, who was presenting the alternate argument, made me think of things in a different way. So I really encourage people to listen through that podcast and draw your own conclusions, but draw the right conclusion that the Hagia Sophia is properly established as a mosque, and may Allah elevate Mehmet II, who conquered it, and there's a hadith related to the person who conquers Istanbul, not Constantinople. That's nobody's business but the Turks, and let them figure it out.
Yeah, no, I was letting you guys.
And by the way, I'm sorry to cut you off. I just didn't say that. Sorry, that was really bad to cut you off. But I'm not saying it like, Erdogan, he's some bad guy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a lot of other things that happen, and with the Pope and everyone speaking out against what he did, and all the other connections that are made.
It's all look. In the end, it's all irrelevant, in my opinion, because Sultan Muhammad II bought.
He did
bought the church from the whether or not they have the proof for that or not. It's part of a historical record that he bought it, and that's what the Turkish court said.
So this is why I want to say there's two things here. I kind of wanted to wait till you guys were done because I want to just rant on this for a second.
Yes.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, I'm saying like it. So
no, I like it.
Here's the thing.
You have the floor, sir.
There's two dynamics here. All right, there's politics and there's religion. Religiously, if that church wasn't purchased, then I don't believe they should be making it into a masjid. Because Islamically, they're allowed to have their places. Now, apparently people are saying it was purchased. They're saying the government is saying it's purchased. Is that true? Allahu Alam. I'm going to take their word for it, right? And say it was, they have documents and receipts. Somebody posted some information about that. Granted, okay? Now, can they make it now into a masjid? Of course they can. It was a masjid before when Ataturk came, and he just what he did was
it's been a masjid for a long time.
Ataturk came and he closed it down and made it into a museum, and he actually removed the plaster that was there to expose the pictures, the iconography that was there before, right, in the Hagia Sophia.
He's talking about the pictures of Mary and Jesus and things like that.
So then it became, it was opened as a museum, and now Erdogan declares it as a masjid. Now, politically, what is the significance of that? Well, this is how I look at it politically. Putting religion aside for a minute. I don't care what you think about it. Other people, it's not your place. It's not your country. Do you open your mouth when Jerusalem is under attack by the Israelis? No, right? So shut your mouth, right? You're not Turkish. I don't care. Listen, when did the Europeans care so much about Turkey? They only want Turkey there because they're in the EU for economic reasons. Yeah. They never want a Muslim majority country in the part of the EU as a voting power. So you know what? Screw you.
Yeah. And what about the mosques in Andalus?
Yeah, Andalus.
All the mosques that were made in churches. Where are all the Muslims that are fighting for the reconversion? And then they say, two wrongs don't make a right, Sim.
No, but to be honest, look, for me, I think it's a political statement. It's a morale booster for the Muslims. Take that.
Take it with
and you know what, victory. By the way, there's this guy named David Wood. He's a retard. He's like, I'm happy. No, he's a retard.
The one who debated Mom
Hijab, I heard stupid idiot David Wood. If you're listening to the show, you're a dumb idiot. Okay, I'll tell you why. You made a video today talking about how you're happy that it became the masjid because now the Muslims can't complain about tolerance anymore. No, idiot. All right, it was a masjid. right? You want to talk about tolerance? Then talk about how the UAE is building Hindu temples and churches and all that stuff. When one of your Christian organizations built one masjid, come talking about tolerance. But that's a masjid. It had even, to be honest, if you look at the history of the Hagia Sophia, Catholics fought the Orthodox fought the different, there's a schism, they fought each other for the land. Catholics destroyed that place for once.
Bro, it was in ruins before the Ottomans took it. The Ottomans restored it.
So he's trying to make it sound like, oh, you see, the Muslims don't want tolerance anymore because Turkey was used as an example for where Muslims and Christians got to be along. No, you stupid idiot David Wood. You stupid Trinitarian idiot.
Okay.
Playground again.
Let's focus off of David Wood.
No,
We got to get back to Sayyid and Sayyid. I'm not done roasting him.
Because people who listen to this show also listen to these debates that people have with this. And I want them to know that that point that David Wood made is completely irrelevant because there are many places in the world, demonstrable places in the world where Muslims are in majority in power and they protect churches. For example, like Egypt, in Kuwait, in the UAE, other places in the world, in Pakistan.
Churches are much
Indonesia,
much better protected
Malaysia,
than masjids.
you name it, it's there, they have it. So yes, churches and mosques are side by side. And there are other churches in Turkey that are there besides Hagia Sophia. So no, the problem is you Christians got weak, fought each other, you lost Constantinople, became Istanbul, and now you're crying about it 1400 years later. There's 1.8 billion of us. You're not going to get rid of us. All right? I mean, so don't worry about Turkey. Let them decide for themselves what they want to do. You worry about other countries and Europe.
Look at what I just found here.
Go ahead.
What happens?
Look here.
Go ahead.
Happens?
What?
Join our newsletter. No, don't that. Don't join their newsletter.
Oh,
Sayyid and Sayyid here.
Can you read this?
Holy Land Christian Ecumenical Foundation. Am I pronouncing it?
Ecumenical. That's the holy thing.
So anyway, so basically, mashallah, Sayyid and Sayyid, the Dalai Lama of Muslims himself, is made a lot of olive branches to the Christian community. So he has become the torchbearer of speaking for all Muslims on what the Hagia Sophia status should be. Sheikh Amersi, can I make takfir on this man?
Astaghfirullah. No, you can't make the
Don't make the film.
I asked him, Yahi. I did say I am making
Leave
it.
his family out of it.
Okay, we're not going to make takfir on him.
Guys, look. Let's put it in perspective. I know you guys feel some frustration. I know you guys...
Well, before you get into that, like, I want to add something what Mort was saying, right? So the Christians, people who say, like, they want a church, another church that no Christian is going to pray at? Yeah. Right? Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't even go to church.
Yeah.
I mean, saying, like, that's why all the churches in America are becoming masjids.
Yeah.
And apparently America is the most, like, active Christian community.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord
dead.
Jesus.
Yeah, because Christianity in Europe is dead.
Yeah,
is it a lot more dead than it is in, like...
No, listen.
Yeah,
America is the only place where Christianity has some kind of base. Europe, Christianity... No. I'm serious. In Russia and Europe. Christianity in Europe is dead. Christianity in Asia is dead. Africa, it's like they only come when they're giving them food.
All right, it's alive and well in South America, though.
No, even culture, even they're leaving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the minute they come to America, they're like,
actually, South America is really powerful.
No, they're
like,
you know how
devout.
You know how they are devout. They're like Shias are devout Muslims. Meaning it's cultural. They'll put Ya Hussein, Ya Ali, poof, beat their ass, and then they're done, right? And then
says the guy who's wearing all black.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that's how the
all of us are all black.
No,
actually, me too.
Yeah. Oh, wow, we're in mourning. What are we mourning for? Did anyone die?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. No, listen. So the thing is, here's the thing, okay? That in Latin American society, Christianity is very cultural, right? They'll tell you, like, they have Santa Maria. It's a very mixture, right? It's a huge thing. Yes, it's culturally tied in, but is there true? Are they really there, actively engaging? No, not really. It's not like they're not out there trying to preach Christianity. It's the evangelicals. In America, the Bible Belt. You're talking about the Midwest, where the tent preachers, the Pentecostals, right? They go out there and go, heal in the name of Jesus, touch you in the name of Jesus. They want to drink poison and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they're crazy. They're out there doing that kind of Christianity is not in Europe or Latin America anywhere. It's unique to America, and these are the ones that go out and they go to Africa, they go to Arab countries, they go to Asia.
Yeah.
They go around because they're the ones who try to say, oh, and there's such honestly, wallahi, if it wasn't haram for me, uqsim billah, I would be a Christian preacher. I'm evangelical. If I could be as a Muslim and do it, it would be my day job. They make so much money. I swear to God, like, you know, there's a lost soul out there somewhere, and Jesus is telling me that you need to be healed. You need to spend right now in donation and give $20, and Jesus will heal you. Can I get an amen?
Yes.
And they donate. They're driving around in Bentley,
good at that. Did you
Ferraris. They do it. They're in jets.
Good at it.
No, but this is all they do. This is all they do. I'm serious.
Right?
Look at Joel Osteen. Look at these mega churches. They are multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
Kenneth Copeland. He brought Tyler Perry's old jet. And he says, you know why?
Yeah.
How can I preach the Lord with the Lord's word while sitting in a tube full of demons in the sky? I have to, you know, so he basically called people in common folks.
Okay.
You know, anyways, the point being is,
Let him keep going. Keep going.
The point being is this here, okay? Is that Christianity is dying, like Maheen said. They're only complaining because it's a Muslim country, and they want to complain and make it sound like, oh my God, the intolerance of the Muslims again.
That complaining is even exaggerated by our own people who are saying, look, Erdogan is causing problems. These people are going to be against no matter what Erdogan did. They're traditionally people who are anti-Erdogan and have...
I think it also... Yeah, that, but I'm saying, like, I don't want to keep bringing this Saeed guy in it. Forget about him. Let's not make him
this guy?
the discussion. But, look, you have to understand, a lot of these guys, they're so...
He looks like you.
He's got a Hitler mustache.
So, guys, just check this out. Look, man, forget about it. Let's not make him the topic of this. I'll tell you why. Look, a lot of people...
He's getting defensive of his uncle.
No. Muslims are scared, bro. They want to side with anything any misfiring they sense of somebody being intolerant, any Muslim being intolerant. They want to just go out guns blazing against that person. That's you know. So it's just a
so mashallah,
Saeed,
you're going to win another award. Sounds like it from the
faith
and tolerance
community. You know what? This is reminding me. You know what this is reminding me of? Remember when he comes out and he goes, or whoever was at ISNA was like, John Esposito is the Abu Talib of our time. And like, remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like,
no. They once said it's not. I heard wallahi. They said no. They won some battle against McDonald's or something, and they compared it to the Battle of Badr. So there was wallahi. Oh my God, man! I was so upset. I'm like, wait, how could you compare some trivial battle in court? And compared to the Battle of Badr.
You know what's crazy about this? So forget this Saeed doctor, right? But there are people like him that will take every opportunity to criticize Muslims because they want to show the kuffar that, hey, we're moderate. We're the good guys.
That's what I meant to say.
We're the ones that are on your team,
yeah.
And we're going to play nice with you. And those guys are the evil ones. Let's kick them out the sandbox, right? That's what they're doing, right?
That's how I was mentioning this last time about us, bro.
Yeah. Where is their outrage over the fact that, hello, dummy, they're trying to move the embassy into Jerusalem. They're trying to annex the part of the West Bank. What's happening in Kashmir? What about where's your Dalai Lama and talking about, you know, the Burmese Muslims? Where are you going with this?
You hit the nail on the head, and leads me to the final point of this is that many of our Muslim leaders, whether it's institutes or whatnot, doesn't matter. They are operating out of a vision or of the parameters of survival. Like all the knowledge that's disseminated, things that are supposed to be talked about, that we kind of put it off to the side, and then we say, oh well, why did our youth go join ISIS? Because you didn't want to talk about jihad when the time was to talk about jihad, and someone else filled the vacuum, and now you're upset that they went and they joined these terrorist groups. Our own people are so busy in their own survival and being accepted into the mainstream American society or British society or Australian society that they eventually will lose the meaning of Islam, and Islam will eventually just be a cultural thing, and that there'll be things related to Eid, and we'll have Eid stamps and things like that will be released to the public and let people know that, hey, you know what, Muhammad here, you know what, it's his holiday, and let's just
go for drinks.
Let's go for drinks after.
I just want to add. I know you're trying to wrap up. Let me just add one more small thing.
Yeah.
The reason why I believe...
I'm tired.
No, you're happy, though. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll wrap up here on this thing. I just want to say this. There's a difference in mentality. this guy, like for the ISNA guy, he's in this immigrant mentality where he has to say the right thing so he doesn't get deported. Right? I mean, that's what the thing is, right? I gotta fit in.
All our parents were like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That
He's
generation.
still like that.
That generation. Oh, be thankful you're allowed in the country. Be thankful you're here. Or you have to fit in, or don't be deported.
If you don't like it, leave.
Yeah. But for me, I am like a citizen of this country. Right? I can speak my mind. I don't care what anybody says. What are you gonna do? Deport me? I was born here, idiot. You know what I mean? I can say what the hell I want to say. Yeah. Right? And I think that type of speech has to come with responsibility, of course, but you shouldn't be afraid of speaking your mind about things that matter, right? And I implore anybody in power or in leadership anywhere, if you can't say the right thing from an Islamic perspective, you just better shut up. It's better for you to stay silent than be held accountable for things that are against Islam because you're trying to fit in with somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
So that's my final thing. Just
right,
don't play the fool.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. We will finish off this show with this.
Old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can't say.
Why can't?
People just liked it better that way. So take me back to Constantinople. We can go back to Constantinople. Been a long time gone. Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the Turks.
That's nobody's business but the Turks. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Salam.
Istanbul. Istanbul. Istanbul, even old New York was once new.